What is your background and why are you here today? Could you describe, please?
I'm the minister in Sweden responsible for this area, for social services, for elderly care, for children and the rights of children. So I have many responsibilities in this area. They are all in my portfolio, so I think it's so fantastic that we have such a conference here in Sweden with participants from more than 100 countries to exchange experiences to each other, and also we have the opportunity to give some Swedish examples.
What would you say this conference is all about?
It is about the future, how we can make better in future that we do today. And we have a lot to learn from each other because there are ongoing projects, ongoing research in different countries, and our duty is to have as much knowledge as possible, as policymakers, for example, but also for social workers.
Could you briefly summarize your presentation? What have you talked about here today?
Oh, it was a welcome presentation, so I said heartily welcome to Stockholm. I'm so happy it's not raining today. The sun is shining, it's a welcoming weather. But I also told about the future challenges, both with the demographic situation, where more and more people get older and older. So I also mentioned the European Year of Healthy Aging as an example of our challenges to keep people healthy when they get older. And to look upon this as also as a possibility, because this is a tremendous welfare achievement that people really are getting older. And as far as this, we have seen that they have more healthy year in their lives. But of course also face the challenge. It will put challenges for our budgetary systems. It will perhaps cost more for health care and social care for these elderly people. The pension system, you need to have a good pension system. I mentioned this, and I also mentioned the work we do with parental support for children, because I think it's very good to have a general parental support. Can we work through the parents? We can also decrease inequality among children.
And from your point of view, from the political side of it, why is this conference important, and what are the most important challenges we face?
It's important because it gives the possibility for people who are researchers, social workers, policymakers, students, to have a common area to meet and to discuss and to get new knowledge from all these different arenas. Here is one common arena, and I think that is very good for the future, because we need each other in this. The policymakers could not bring all solutions for the future. You need to take help from each other. So that is one good thing, and I think I'm very proud to be that we can host this conference in Sweden this time, and that there are participants from so many countries also in these times of just after the financial crisis, which had hurt very many countries, and still there are so many countries here, so I find it very hopeful for a future.
And how does the challenge of the global social agenda affect your work and your commitment?
I, like all others, want to have as much knowledge as possible from the researchers, what is new on the agenda, new solutions, but also good examples from the social work ongoing right now. There are many good examples in the seminars from different countries, so I try to get as much information as possible to make reforms that in Sweden that perhaps have been tried in another country. It is a good way to to exchange experiences. It helped us all a lot.
And what expectations do you have of this conference? What should come out of it?
I hope that everyone go home from this conference with a lot of new knowledge, but also with a lot of inspiration for their future work.
And your impression so far of the conference?
It's always fantastic with international conference, because you meet people with different nationality and different culture, and still we are just human beings, and we have so much to say to each other. So I really like to go to international conferences, and I'm proud that we can host it in Sweden. So I'm very glad to be here, very honored to be here.
And a lot of people we have heard from speaking from the stage, they would like to send a message to that it's important that from a political point of view that they also get engaged. And do you feel that worldwide politicians have some work to do? Or I know Tom Shakespeare here mentioned that here in Sweden he said that this is a very good country to be disabled in, but from a global perspective on the political side, what is there left to do? What can you do?
Even if we have done a lot in our country, we still have a lot to do. Let me say that, and I'm glad that he found this country comfortable for him. But still, we have a lot to do. I met my colleagues in Europe for some months ago, where we discussed the reform agenda in social policy. In the light of the financial crisis, and I was really worried about what I heard, because there are very many countries now trying to reduce pensions, trying to reduce the social work, because the budget don't allow them to do any new reforms. So I think this is really hard times to. And it's necessary for the politicians to make the right decisions when the budget is decreasing. So we need to take. We need each other in this work to say that it's so important that people in all over the world don't suffer from this financial crisis, that we keep the social reform agenda active still in these times.